Iowa Debris and Jennifer Lopez on talent.
Hello, you guys. Welcome back to the Cake Radio Show. I'm the CakeDive and I hope y'all are doing well because today we'll be talking about Shameik Moore and whatever is going on with him. So, on this episode of Vlogsmas, day 2, we were making progress. I almost messed up and was like, not about to record the episode, but I said we was going to try to commit to this as long as we can, and we can't give up on day 2. Like, come on now. But for those who don't know who Shameik Moore is the I was about to say iconic, the actor known most importantly for his role as himself in the show In the Incredible Crew, which aired on Cartoon Network in 2013, produced by Nick Cannon. Mm-hmm. Yup. 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 That's what he's known for. No, I'm joking. But he is most known for his role as Miles Morales in the Spider-Man Spider-Verse films that we all know and love. And basically, everyone's talking online and making fun of him because of a tweet that went out, or like a series of tweets that went out throughout the times involving him and his co-star in the Spider-Verse films, Hailee Steinfeld, who plays Spider-Gwen in the movies. So, for those who don't know, well, I keep saying for those who don't know, but to set the stage of why this is viral now and why people are talking about this right now, Hailee recently got engaged. Well, they made the public announcement that she was officially engaged with Buffalo Bills, I believe his quarterback, Josh Allen. And they posted on Instagram announcing the engagement after like rumors of them dating since like May 2013. And it was officially made official. Everybody now knows that the that they're together, they're engaged. It's like they locked in. Congratulations to them. Um, and shortly after that announcement went public, Shameik Moore posted on Twitter in a very cryptic post saying, "There's still more people to meet, more opportunities to come, and more chances to try. Live, learn, and apply." And even though it never mentioned Steinfeld or Allen by name, and even though it has no mention of the engagement whatsoever, a lot of people are putting two and two together and are hypothesizing that, and like are noticing the timing of that tweet, and is like, hey, this kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Um, and everyone's been posting online like, oh, like bro's crashing out over Hailee, like dudes manifesting hard, like bro's villain arc has started. Like everyone's been commenting about the situation, about the tweet, because like the we exist in the context. We exist within the context, and it's important to note that during the press tour for, I believe it's Across the Spider-Verse, the second one that came out, there was a bunch of clips that were showing online from like the press junkets of Shameik Moore and Hailee Steinfeld being together, and like basically Shameik simping really hard and really pushing to try to like establish some sort of like relationship between him and Hailee Steinfeld, trying to create some sort of like dynamic. Like I don't know if like some people, it was given like he was simping so hard that he actually wanted to like be with her type beat. But like I also feel like part of it is also that he just wanted to like build some sort of like press relationship, in the sense that like people would see like their clips and like be like, oh, like that's so cute and gag. But like it really just kind of came off as weird, because in every clip Hailee Steinfeld wasn't really like going for him, in the sense, not even in the sense like she just wasn't going for him whatsoever, and it just wasn't given. Like it was cooking down, and that's the context of that. a few hours after that tweet came out, after everyone started cooking him, he posted some follow up tweets, basically being upset that like people was trying to like cook him a little bit and him trying to explain himself. The first tweet in which he like directly mentioned this was saying, also like it just said also crazy what y'all decide to engage with when I post. And then following that tweet, he did some other posts and stuff like that. But following that tweet, he said, y'all been twisting my words and fucking with my name for years now. And the thing, ooh, not my phone going off. Listen, I don't know if I did the, listen, I got my ringtones on because I think we should bring ringtones back. And I forgot to turn my shit off before I start recording. That's on me. My bad, y'all. But anyways, it's such a mixed bag because like the thing that we have to like discuss here is like, when does it become too much? Because like, sure, he's saying like, oh, like y'all been twisting my words and stuff like that, and I get it. Like he could very well be talking about something that is completely unrelated to like the Hailee Steinfeld stuff, and he like everyone like probably like possibly legitimately like twisted his words and he probably feels some type of way. But on the other hand, like it's just the fact that like we have clips of you in interviews and on press tour and on the press tour for like these films being very like weird, trying to like come at her and try to get with her, and she's very clearly like not interested and even at some points like uncomfortable by this, and like we just have that in public record. So like now you're just kind of on display being like a simp. So like of course everyone's gonna be making fun of you. Like even if he didn't tweet anything today, not today at the time of recording because it happened a few days ago. Even if he didn't tweet anything around the time of the engagement post or tweeted like something that was completely unrelated to that, people probably would have still been like making fun of him and posting tweets being like, oh, I know Shameik Moore is probably like sick to his stomach right now. Like I just know Shameik Moore probably felt his knees today. Like because like we are taking the piss out of you. Like you are a joke now. And I feel like we should also have a conversation about like how how did this happen? Like how is this like a thing that we just kind of let happen? Like how did we get this weird awkward press tour? Because like traditionally traditionally voice actors do not record with each other and record in the same room. And it was kind of really interesting that like that changed up for Spider-Verse with these two. And I don't know what the vibe was, but it just seems like for this next film they're gonna have to film separately because like it's just gonna give that, like it's just gonna be really awkward. And you know, I don't really like, I don't know, it's very odd that like Shameik, like we also have to have this bigger conversation. I know I'm talking sporadically, but bear with me because I have a lot of thoughts going on right now. But I feel like there's also a conversation that needs to be had about like Shameik Moore and his like very online interest towards white women, because at some point, like there's a lot of common threads here that link all this stuff together that like makes me look at him very crazy, because like don't get me wrong, the man is talented, but on the other hand, like you have a really weird thing for like white girls, and that is also kind of why people are also taking the piss at you, because like we cannot forget the tweet that he did in like 2013 in which I think he was doing like Ask FM, answering questions, and he said, and the question was like, do you like white girls? And he said, do I? Megan Fox, Vanessa Hudgens, Allison from Twilight. God, there's like it's just this the biggest thing that happens with like black men who, and I can speak on this who as a black man, but like with black men who have like romantic interest in white women. Mind you, I'm gay, so I can't speak on that. Well, actually, I could speak on that because there's also black men that like will go for white men in a really weird way. But like, it is very odd to me that every single black man who is going for like a non-black person, more specifically like white people, they seem to just move like really weird. Like they just seem like they kind of like the light skins of like romantic attraction, in the sense that, like, you know how light skins like move in a way that they just have to let everyone know that they're light skinned. Like, oh, like you got the J. Cole's of the world, in which it's like, oh, like, or like the Logics, dare I say, even though Logic is most definitely white. I don't care what y'all say. In which they're like, oh, like, you know, like, oh, like I'm light skinned, like, oh, like I'm light skinned, like, oh, like I, you know, my mama and my daddy, they different races, they white and they black. Like, oh my god, and I'm light skinned. Like they just really push it, and then like there's obviously bigger conversations that I'm like glossing over and trying to make comedic here. But I feel like black men who are interested in like white people and are attracted to them, and like in a weird way, like they are obsessed with white people and do not want to date, or like don't have as much romantic interest in like their own race, they move super weird. Like they move super weird. Like they just like a lot of them. Like you have like, again, case in point, Shameik Moore. Like you have him literally like posting on social media, being like, "Oh, like I really like just oh white girls." Like he's just like moving really weird on a public forum, talking about his love for white women. And then you also have like, again, the press junket for Spider-Verse, in which he is being really weird next to this white woman who very clearly is not interested in him. And you know, I remember like I feel like there is other times in which like there's other celebrities who like we have this conversation with. I remember like a few weeks ago, Lil Nas X got into some trouble because he's like allegedly dating. Well, not even allegedly dating. There's like photos of him dating or like being around this white boy, like this white twink, and everyone's been cutting up, being like, oh, like I knew something was off about him. Like I knew he only liked white. Like he was giving he like white boys type thing. And then he like did he was promoting his next single, and he posted um the single cover for that was like him with a light skinned black man, with a light skinned man, mind you. Um, it's just kind of, and like his tweets in responding to that, in which he's like, oh, like y'all are being real weird about this, and like, oh, like I've dated black men before, and like, well, and he said, I remember like, I think the end of that tweet was like Lil Nas X saying like, oh, like I've dated black men before. The next person I'm gonna be with might not be black, but like I still like black men. And it's just like it's like they always say something that's just really off, and just like you ain't had to say that last part. Like it's just the fact that like for some reason, again, I said this before, but it's for some real odd reason, black men who have attractions for like non-black people just move super weird, because like you have that on the gay side of things, and you also have like Shameik Moore, who I'm not saying is gay, like he is a straight dude, and for all we know. And then you have like straight men who like on the opposite extreme will just like really be like really weird when it comes to white women, and be like, oh, like if it ain't, like there's the joke of like if it ain't snowing it ain't going, and all that type of shit. And it's just kind of like, y'all, like obviously there's the side of the internet and like the side of culture that obviously does not want black men to be dating outside of their race. That's obviously like that's conversations that we've had before, and has been something that we've had as communities throughout history, throughout our time in history, especially in America. But on the other hand, it's just like there's some sort of like weird obsession with whiteness. Well, obviously because whiteness gives you capital, but like there's a weird obsession with whiteness that, and like racism and colorism that exist, in which it's like, oh, like you have to basically announce and promote the fact that you're dating someone who's white and outside of your race, because that will give you capital. And for some reason they also end up like indirectly, either unintentionally or intentionally, putting their own race down. And that's another thing. Like again, Shameik Moore, like obviously this is a side tangent, but like bringing this back to Shameik Moore. Shameik Moore, I don't believe has publicly dated anyone who's like black, and obviously not saying anything like, because I think that there is a conversation that has to be had in which black celebrities don't have to date black publicly, I feel like they don't even have to, well, not even like date black publicly. What I mean by that is like they don't have to publicly announce who they're dating. And I think that might be a safer bet just across the board because, like, regardless of who they're dating, it just seems like the internet will descend upon them and question either if they're attractive enough to date the person they're dating, or if the person they're dating is like beneficial or like good enough to date them, or it's beneficial to the culture if they're like a black celebrity. So I think that there's a conversation to be had about like that portion of things, but I also feel like on the other hand, and with Shameik Moore, he hasn't, like, he again with the tweets and with the press junket, we have evidence of him like being really really interested in white women. So like he's told us about him and we can believe it. So like he shouldn't be shocked that like the internet, as weird and as, you know, crazy as it can get, is turning around making fun of him for this moment because he's embarrassed himself and showed his ass on the press tour, when like again, like he didn't have to answer that question. He didn't have to be weird on the press tour. He didn't have to tell us that he liked white girls. Like that's the thing. Like I feel like people, like most people, would be fine with black people dating non-black people if they didn't parade it around. Like for like again, there's just this weird thing in which they want to parade it around because again, announcing that you are dating someone who's non-black, that can give you more capital in a society that uh, holds whiteness to the highest of standards and gives them the most capital. I feel like I could write a whole like video essay digging into this because again, I feel like I am leaving a lot out and that there could be a bigger conversation that could be had about this that I'm not giving in this podcast because I'm like going off the cuff. But that's my thoughts on the Shameik Moore stuff. Do I feel bad for him? No, because like that woman wasn't interested in him. Do I think he'll get over it? Yes, because I feel like, I don't know, because of the fact that like he's a dark skinned actor, like people have been making fun of him for this, and like this is just gonna be something that he's gonna have to stick with for the rest of his days as like an actor. Like it's gonna be something like the Cynthia Erivo like poster moment. Like that moment wasn't really serious, and I feel like people were stretching it out for a little bit, and people have been making fun of the Wicked press tour for the longest time, like since it's been running, but people still enjoy the film. And again, like she's still a talented actress, so like it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Like people will still make fun of her to like the end of her days, but it's just like, you know, what can she do at this point? You know, as it's the same thing with Shameik. Like he really can't do anything because he made his bed and is lying in it. Like he's made his bed and lied in it. Like again, like he can do everything he can, but at the end of the day, unless he like is dating a black woman and like is genuinely in love with it, like not on no Jonathan Majors like fake relationship engagement type stuff. Like if unless he like goes public with like a black woman, with a dark skinned black girl, and is like dating her and is like really in love with her, like I feel like a lot of people are just not gonna move off of his back. Like there's gonna be a part of the culture that's not gonna move off his back just because of the tweets and this press tour. Like this is something that's gonna mark his career for the rest of the days because like we've all seen it. And there's gonna be the other portion that like they're just gonna think it's funny, like just regardless, like regardless of even if he dates a black woman, like he could like people are still gonna be like, oh, like remember when he was cutting up like this over white girls? Like, oh boy, how the times have changed. Like, it's just gonna be something like that. Like, it's just something that is now just because of what has happened and transpired. But that was my thoughts on Shameik Moore. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode of the Cake Radio Show. Another episode for Vlogsmas. I hope you guys are enjoying the Vlogsmas episodes as they're coming on. I hope y'all keep tuning in and supporting the show as they come along. Again, y'all know the spiel if y'all haven't if you have not watched the show before, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. I hope you like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel at Cake Radio Show, where you get access to episodes before anyone else. I also hope that you guys consider, you know, sharing the episodes along to your friends, commenting, having a discussion about this topic, because, you know, we should do that more. Keep it cordial, keep it cute. And also, if you're listening to this on your favorite podcast platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, what have you. Thank you so much for listening and supporting us that way. Be sure to follow the podcast on there and give the show a rating because it helps. And I will talk to y'all tomorrow for Vlogsmas Day 3. Bye-bye.